Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Nick from ForexNoobs.com with the daily analysis. Today is Thursday, the 24th of January 2019. Time is 14 o'clock. Oh, not 14 o'clock, it's 1400 hours here in the UK, which is 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So, in today's analysis, we're going to be looking for price action setups. We're going to be looking for setups across pretty much all the pairs listed to the right here. My highlight tool has just come up, so here we go. All these pairs to the right here. When I say price action setups, I mean continuations, reversals, all kinds of setups. We're also going to be checking out some already open setups, which I shared earlier in the week, which I think there's actually just one, but I could be wrong about that. Let me get the chat up on the screen. Webinar's a bit later than normal today, simply because I was away in the morning. Let's kick things off with AUDJPY. Because this is a trade I'm currently in, but we'll also be looking at the calendar real quick, as we usually do. Hey Boris, Imre, Sanjit, Zafar, and Zila. Jacob, hey everyone. Right, let's have a look at this calendar. Friday, there is nothing on Friday. Cool. Today, we have an ECB press conference, which is kind of important. But that's already started 30 minutes ago, so yeah, most of this stuff is just over with, isn't it? Press conference might still be running. It's about an hour long. Yeah, so watch out for the next half hour, guys, but not really seeing that big an impact. So let's just take a quick look at EURAUD on the 15-minute. Where did I put the calendar? Nope. I think I actually just closed it. Yeah, so it started at 1:30, around 1:45. We got a big turnaround on the euro. So it looks like the press conference might have had a bit of an impact so far. Maybe, or maybe it's just normal movement that we get. But yeah, just watch out for the next 30 minutes in case, especially towards the end of the press conference, which would be now the last 30 minutes. If it's opening up to press questions, this is when you're going to see most of the volatility. Generally speaking, that's how it happens. So do watch out for the next 30 minutes or so. But beyond that, we'll be fine. And there's no news tomorrow. I'm always in two minds with this whole no news thing, because when there's no news, that means there's less big moves and less volatility, which means less potential for trades to move to targets quickly. But it also means less surprises. So less surprises is good, but less volatility is not necessarily good. So yeah, it's a bit of a dull news week, a bit slow. Next week we have NFP, which means the first few days of the week might be a bit slow. Anyway, we'll worry about that next week. Right, so AUDJPY, let's take a look at that. That's the trade I'm currently in. Just made a new low today, which is nice, but it is moving so slow, so excruciatingly slow. When I enter a trade, I hope for it to wrap up in a day or two. And most times my trades do kind of start wrapping up pretty fast. But this one has just been, excruciatingly slow. It has made a new low today. I was hoping with that new low, it would start pushing down a bit further. But as soon as it made that new low, it pulled back up. Let's take a look on the 5-minute just to get an idea of what price is doing. We could see it drop down and then it retraced. Let's zoom in on that a bit. See how it dropped down and then it retraced. Well, I'm holding on to it, of course. There's no reason to get out of it. It's just not going as nicely as I would want it to. Not moving down as fast as I would want it to. But I'm going to hold on for that target. I shared this trade with you guys on Monday. So for anyone who's still in this one, just hold on and let it run. If it moves down much further, I'll probably hold over the weekend. If it closes for this week around about where it is now, I'll probably close it out. I don't like holding on to trades over the weekend when they're, you know, barely towards target, because a gap up could take us to beyond our stop loss. Yeah, I mean, kind of makes sense, Zila. AUDCAD, in between support resistance, so nothing much going on there. AUD New Zealand, we were looking at this one for a potential long yesterday. Obviously, that's not happened yet and it hasn't triggered. Still looking at it today for a potential long, but it is a pretty strong move down into the support, and it has moved kind of deep into this support area. So I would not be surprised if this keeps moving down. So when I say I'm looking for a potential long, most of you guys who are here in the room right now understand what I mean. But for people watching this on my public YouTube channel, that does not mean that I think price is going to turn around and go up from here. It just means that if price stalls on top of this area for another 1 or 2 candles on the 12-hour chart, or maybe 1 candle on the daily, then I'll be looking for a long. What I'm saying is that this is a strong support area, and this is a point where if we see the right setup, it would make sense to enter long. Right now, we're not seeing the right setup, but it could happen. So we are going to keep an eye on this and see if price stalls out on this area. If it doesn't, then whatever, it doesn't really matter. We just won't trade it. So AUDUSD. I shared this trade last week, but much like AUDJPY, it's just been moving excruciatingly slow. For those of you who are still in this trade, I mean, just hold on to it. It's a slow trade, but a trade's a trade, and it is working its way towards its target, albeit very slowly. But you know, sometimes trades are slow, sometimes they're fast, sometimes they wrap up in a single candle, sometimes it takes 10 candles. That's just the reality of trading. So this short trade is doing decent. May as well hold on to it if you're still in it. EURAUD, nothing much going on here. It pushed up towards the resistance area, pulled back away. So there's no real trade opportunity there that I would see. EuroCAD. Oh wait, there was a trade here. I forgot to say yesterday. No, it was. This was another one of the trades I shared last week, wasn't it? I don't know why I don't have this one marked anymore. This was another one of the trades I shared last week. I didn't enter this one, but I think a few of you ended up entering. Maybe it was on the 12-hour. Oh, I don't remember all the details of this one. I don't think it was the best of setups, but anyway, if you're still in this one, obviously it's headed towards target. Do hold on. EuroCAD, I don't think we did anything there. EURGBP, where are my support resistance areas? Oh, there they are. EURGBP is stalling out on top of a support area. This does look like, you know, arguably a half decent indecision candle, but it's such a wide indecision candle that it would be hard to get a good entry and a stop loss here. But EURGBP is stalling out heavily on this area. That's what we should take from this. Stalling out heavily on this area. So that's a good sign. That's a strong support area. The fact that it's stalling there might give us an opportunity for a long reversal trade. So we'll keep an eye on that. I wouldn't enter the reversal trade based on this candle, because if we're entering based on this candle, you know, we'd want our entry above the high, our stop loss below the low. If our target's at the first resistance area, that's a horrible risk-reward ratio. If it's at the second, it's a halfway decent risk-reward ratio. But this is a pretty strong resistance area. Well, medium strength resistance area. So I wouldn't want to just ignore it and put my target above it. So it'd be ideal maybe on a lower time frame if we get price stalling a little bit more, if we can get a bit of a better risk to reward ratio, though it might be a little bit tough with this. Regardless, we are going to keep an eye on it. EURGBP looks somewhat decent. Let's keep watching it. EURJPY, nothing going on the larger time frames. Euro New Zealand, yeah, nothing going on. EURAUD, nothing going on. You're still in EURAUD, Sanjit? Yeah, hold on to that one, man. It looks like it's going well. It did push up to its almost to its target, but then pulled back away, which kind of sucks. That's not nice when that happens. Is that because of the press conference? Did that happened just recently? No, that's been happening for a little while. Yeah, anyway. What were we up to? We did EURGBP, we looked at EURJPY. I think we're up to Euro New Zealand, but nothing much going on there. EURAUD fallen towards the bottom of the support area, but pulled away really quickly. So, yeah. Again, nothing much going on there. GBPAUD, this looks somewhat interesting. It's hit the top of this resistance area. Let's take a look in a lower time frame. Is anyone short on this on the lower time frames? You're preparing to enter? Fair enough. Yeah, it looks halfway decent on the lower time frames. I mean, it's 6 hour maybe? Yeah. 8 hour. It doesn't really matter, 4, 6, 8 hour, whichever one you want to enter on. It looks like there's a lot of room with this one, so you can have a pretty decent stop loss, wide entry, still get good risk to reward ratio, although I would be slightly concerned about this minor area here. So do watch out for that area there. You could get a better entry and stop. That way you've got a decent amount of profit before it hits this point here. That might be the smarter move with this one. Yeah, this has some potential. Let's keep a close eye on it. If you're going to enter, you might want to enter very soon. Actually, I kind of want to wrap up this webinar quickly so I can do some quick risk analysis and see if I want to enter this one myself. I would want to have my target around here. I wouldn't trust that it's going to hit fall all the way back to this support area though. If you look on the daily, it's trending up quite a bit. Like, see, it's started an uptrend. So targeting all the way to the bottom here would be risky. I'd rather target to around about here, this green line. Since it is counter to a trend, it's not the strongest of trends, but I mean, it is a trend. Probably won't enter. I just the thing is, this where I would want my target to be, I'm just not going to get that good of a risk to reward ratio here. But that being said, I would need to do some more thorough analysis on this before I decide, because I could always just time my stop if I really want to enter, and it does have some pretty good potential. So yeah, I'll update you guys on the forum. Have you shared this on the forum, Zila? I don't see it there. Yeah, if you could do me a favor and share it to the forum now, if you have time. You don't have to. If you have time and you could do me a favor and share it to the forum, and then I'll I'll throw in my decision on whether I'm entering or not as soon as this webinar is wrapped up and I get like 5 minutes to run it through my normal kind of process where I decide to enter a trade or not. Righto, so GBPJPY, nothing much going on GBPJPY, guys. GBP New Zealand stalling out on this resistance area. Yeah, I'm not doing anything there. I don't really like this pair. GBP USD is hitting the 200 moving average and it's stalling out at it. 200 moving average, I don't use it so much as an indicator, just as a moving area of support resistance. It acts as support resistance, just self-adjusting, and it works because bank traders and hedge managed fund traders use it. That's why it works. I don't really take trades from it though. I won't be taking a trade there. New Zealand JPY, nothing much going on. New Zealand USD, it was a short trade from there. And then earlier this week, I believe I shared a long trade. Did I? Or had it already triggered so I couldn't share it? I can't remember. I think I might have shared a long trade here on Monday. Or sorry, on Tuesday's analysis is what I meant to say. I can't remember, but anyway, I didn't enter long. I missed this trade. I think I shared it in Tuesday's analysis. So if anyone's still long on this one, again, just hold on to it. It looks like it's making its way towards target. So hold on to it. USDCAD stalling out on resistance. Let's keep a close eye on this one. I think some people are already short here on the lower time frames. I can't remember if I've talked to a lot of people the last few days on Skype, a lot of students, so I can't remember who's short, who's long on what. But I do think that some people are short on this one, so do hold on to it. That's probably why it's marked green here. I should really start taking some notes. USDCHF, nothing much going on. USDJPY, nothing much going on. Gold and silver, yeah, nothing much going on there. Would I look at the 200 moving average on GBPUSD? I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean would I look for one of the setups, the swing setups we trade that incorporates the 200 moving average? If that is what you mean, today's webinar is a public webinar and those setups are members only, so we can't really discuss them in today's webinar, but do post your thoughts to the forum and I will respond there. Short answer is yes, there is definitely potential for one of those setups here if it progresses. No problem. Yeah, I should have said it at the start of the webinar. It's my fault for not saying it, man. There's definitely potential for that here. We could discuss it further on the forum. So I guess that wraps it up for the analysis, guys. I kind of want to get out of here because I want to run my analysis on the GBP AUD potential. For potentials that haven't triggered yet, we've got AUD New Zealand stalling out on support, although it is moving down quite fast and it might just crash straight through the support. So don't get too attached to the idea of going long here because it's very likely not going to turn into anything. We got EURGBP stalling out on support on the lower time frames. We could be seeing a long here. Do be careful because the risk to reward ratio is going to be pretty bad if you enter based on the most recent indecision candle. GBP AUD is dropping down right now, and it looks like there's potential for a short. But do keep in mind it is trending up on the daily, so you wouldn't want to have your target all the way down here at the support area because it's unlikely to easily reach there. But a target over here is very easy for price to reach. When price is trending up, obviously with a bullish trend, it is going to go. It's going to fall back a little bit and then go up, fall back a little bit and then go up. That's the kind of normal progression of a trend. So a trade like this, you're trying to catch those little fallbacks for a little bit of profit, and then hopefully catch the big moves in line with the trend for more profit. So these little pullbacks, they give you potential to make some profit countering the trend. So that's what I would want to look for here. But I wouldn't want to, when I'm trading counter to a trend, I wouldn't want to target all the way down here because it's just unlikely to reach there. As far as active trades go, AUDJPY, which I shared on Tuesday's analysis, I think I said Monday earlier. I always make that mistake, but we don't do a Monday analysis. We do a Tuesday analysis. That's the first one of the week. So this one where I shared on the Tuesday analysis, hold on to it. It isn't moving as fast as we would like, but it is moving. New Zealand USD, I know a few people are long here, which I believe I also shared in Tuesday's analysis. Hold on to that one, just let it run. It is moving in your direction. USDCAD potential. This one we should actually mark orange and call it a potential trade. I think some people are already in it, but if you're not in it, like me, there is definitely potential here for a short. See our price is stalling out on top of this resistance area. We would be looking for a short from this resistance area. So let's keep a close eye on it. I want to see how today's daily candle closes. If today's daily candle closes well, I'll be looking for a short. I'm not too interested on the 12-hour for this one. Definitely looking at just the current daily candle and looking for a short opportunity from there. And finally, EURAUD. Some people are still in this one, so I hold on to that one. Zafar, I'm not sure what else you want in terms of closing comments. Just keep it open, man. I can't think of anything else to say about it other than it's moving slow. Keep it open. Persistence is what's needed. Just like the AUDUSD trade. I got out of it obviously at the end of last week because of the G20 summit. I don't like holding through G20 summits. I've had bad experiences in the past, 15, 16 years with those summits and with the G7 summits. I've had bad experiences, so I don't really like holding through those things. So I closed out. But if it wasn't for that, I probably would have kept it open. Or I wouldn't say probably, but potentially. And if I had kept it open, I would be holding on still, just letting it run down. So my advice is to just hold on to it like the AUDUSD trade. Unfortunately, they're slow burners, but that's just going to happen sometimes with trades. But with slow burners, you just got to have some persistence and hold out. Yeah, I think we talked about this one on Tuesday, maybe? I think we're looking at USDJPY, AUDJPY, and GBPJPY. GBPJPY didn't give us a setup that we were looking for. USDJPY triggered for some people. I said that I wasn't really that interested in this one, so I didn't enter on this one. But some people did enter, and it's just moving sideways, and it's currently in a loss right now. I would assume, depending on your entry, but I'm assuming your entry is I mean, it's hard to say because I'm not in this trade personally, but I'd probably try to get out at break even if I was in it. I wouldn't really want to hold over the weekend. I don't like holding trades over the weekend when they're like this close to the stop loss. When they're this close to the stop loss, if you hold over the weekend, it's quite easy for price to gap up. So from here to here, let's say, that would not be a huge gap for USDJPY. I mean, it would be a bit bigger than a normal gap, but like look at this gap, for example. So what's that gap? That gap is roughly 30 pips. So let's say price closes up here. Yeah, that's 40 pips. So, you know, it's feasible that you would see a gap of 40, 50 pips on USDJPY. It's feasible. And that could take you beyond your stop loss. So I would say if by tomorrow afternoon it's not moved down towards the target, probably close it out. I just had a thought. You know what would be an awesome indicator? Well, not an indicator. I don't want to call it an indicator because that would give you guys the wrong idea. But just like having a kind of like, I've been thinking about it for a while, of coding a kind of info panel that would just sit at the bottom here. And in that info panel, it would have just information like the average daily range of USDJPY, because the average daily range, you know, can be important in determining certain things. But also having the average size of gaps. If you know the average size of gaps, you know, in relation to where price is sitting right now, how far is that from your stop loss, and would the average gap take you beyond your stop loss? So you could assess if holding a trade over the weekend is very risky. It'd be kind of handy having an info panel down here with all those stats for each pair. I'm not sure if you could easily calculate the average size of gaps on using the coding language provided by TradingView, which I believe is called Pine. Yeah, Pine Editor. And I've got no experience with that coding language, but if anyone watching does have experience with the coding language and wants to reach out to me with the possibility of coding a bit of an info panel down the bottom, which tells you at least two things: the average daily range and the average size of gaps. But then there would be more info that I would want to add eventually. Those are just two small ideas. If someone wants to reach out and let me know if they think that's possible in this coding language, that'd be kind of handy. Definitely willing to pay for a job like that. I'm not asking for free work. I could probably figure it out on my own, but I just don't have the energy or willingness to learn a new programming language. The little I know of programming languages took me quite a while to learn because I'm self-taught and I just don't want to have to learn anything else. But anyway, I'm babbling, guys, and I do really want to see if I can get into this GBP AUD trade. So I'm going to call an end to this webinar, and we'll discuss any developments on the forum. So yeah, thank you guys for attending, and I'll see all members on the forum and all the other people watching on YouTube. I'll see you for next week's analysis.